Hi, my name is Shanon Materio. I'm with McMow Art Glass in Lake Worth, Florida. Today I'm going to go through the steps of making a stained glass window. The first step is, once you decide that you want to install your stained glass window into a specific opening or you want to hang it someplace in your home, you decide what kind of pattern do you want. Do you want to buy a pattern, or are you artistic enough to draw your own? Once you've made that decision and you've taken your measurements, you want to draw your pattern to the exact measurements that you know are going to fit into the opening that you're going to install into. You're going to use your pattern, possibly color it. Some people like to do that, some people don't, but it does help you to follow the pattern a little easier. Take the pattern to your local stained glass studio and retail store. Choose your glass based on color, texture, how good of a glass cutter you are sometimes comes in, how much light you want coming in. The exposure of the sun into the stained glass window might also affect the colors that you choose. Like, you don't want a really bright red, yellow, or orange if you're doing a morning window and your house is facing east. It could just blow the furniture across the room. So once you've chosen your glass, you take your pattern and you do a copy. I always number my patterns and my pieces as I'm cutting them. Cutting each piece carefully to make sure that they fit within the black line of your pattern. Either lead came or copper foil is going to be used to put it together, so you need to know that before you begin so that you have the appropriate spaces between the pieces of glass. Using your glass cutter, whichever glass cutter you find works best for you, and some oil, you cut all your pieces and then you grind them. Some people use a handheld grinder, and some people like to use the machine grinders. The machine grinders are great. They last forever, and they're just a terrific tool to keep your glass very smooth. You want to do that because when it's time for you to foil, that's the time you usually get cut. It drives you crazy. So you're going to make that decision as to copper foil or lead came, and then you're still going to grind your pieces to get that rough edge off. Then you're going to foil your piece, or if you're doing a lead came window, you're going to build your piece weaving your lead came. Using flux, I like to use a liquid flux. It's less acidic and it neutralizes with water. And as long as I don't leave it on my piece for too long, copper foil, you only want to flux what you're going to solder at that time. You never want to flux your piece and leave it on for the weekend or 2 weeks and come back. It will create a real problem for you with corrosion. So flux your piece and solder it both sides. Lead your piece and solder the joints both sides. And clean your piece. We like to use this spray cleaner. It has no ammonia in it, which I really like. It doesn't corrode my pieces. I don't get white fuzzy stuff from it, and it just works very well. You can buy this usually at your local stained glass studio as well. Clean your piece well when you're done. Put hooks on it if you're hanging it. Put lead came around it if you want to, or just install it directly into the opening.